Hi everyone, I would like to thank you for coming today. First, I would like to thank the HTCC, UCI, our mentor Denise Cabanel, and our honored mentor Teresa Scarborough. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce myself one more time. Mohsen. This is Khoi, Ashley, and Tran, and we're students from Orange Coast College. And our today's topic will be about piracy in Somalia. Before we start our presentation, let's take a few seconds to think about this. What comes in your mind when you hear the word pirates? Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, or probably Captain Hook? Well, this is what people think about pirates. Or what do you think about the life of a pirate? Freedom, treasure, adventure, which is possibly true. Well, the history of piracy goes all the way back to ancient times, to ancient Greece and Rome. About 500 BC, pirates attacked the many cargo ships that sailed the Mediterranean Sea. A Roman leader was captured by the pirates at the age of 25. Can you guess who he was? The historic leader was none other than Julius Caesar. But piracy did not only occur in the Mediterranean Sea, it also happened in Northern Europe as well. Pirates up in the north were known as Vikings. The Vikings traveled all the way across the North Sea so they could raid the British settlements. And of course, with the discovery of the New World, piracy started to get closer and closer to the Caribbean. These pirates were drawn to merchant ships known as galleons, which carried huge amounts of treasure. And here we are in the 21st century, and piracy still exists. Moreover, it has become an international problem. Our group's interest lies primarily on piracy in Somalia, as it requires the most attention at the moment. According to a BBC website, $150 million of ransom has been paid to the Somali pirates, and 533 crew members were taken hostages. As you can see, piracy in Somalia caused enormous damage. This is why we're here, and we'd like to talk about this international issue in detail. In our presentation, Khoi will talk about the cause of piracy in Somalia. Ashley will present the current situation and its implications, and Tran will provide analysis of current solutions, and after that, at the end, we're going to discuss or give our suggestions to improve upon our current solutions. Here's Khoi.
I'm going to present to you the location and the importance in international trade of the Gulf of Aden, where piracy takes place. With that in mind, we will try to understand what are the causes of piracy in Somalia. This is the map of Northwest Africa. The Gulf of Aden is located in the Arabian Sea, lying between Yemen and Somalia. It connects the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, and is a part of the important Suez Canal, with 21,000 ships crossing the Gulf annually. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, about 11% of the world's seaborne petroleum and 3.3 barrels of crude oil move through the water each day. The waterways is also an important thoroughfare of goods to Europe and the U.S. from Asia. This strategic location is, of course, one element that contributes to piracy. However, to fully understand what led to the problem in the country, we have to look back to the civil war in Somalia, which started in 1991, stemmed from the insurrections against the repressive regime of Siad Barre. It has become the fight over power, and despite the intervention of the United Nations and the US, the war is still ongoing. In its current phase of conflict, the international recognized government, the TFG, which stands for Transitional Federal Government, is losing substantial control over the military forces, the ICU, which stands for Islamic Force Union. As we can guess, this fight has resulted in the partition of the country. On this map of Somalia, the yellow region is the autonomous region of Somaliland. The blue region is under control of the TFG, and the green is under control of the ICU, with different green indicates different Islamic militants. This 90 years of war has resulted in a humanitarian crisis in Somalia. Moreover, a lack to a powerless government is also responsible to what is considered the direct cause of piracy, illegal fishing of foreign ships along the coast of Somalia. Fishing had long become the only sources that people in Somalia rely on. However, without an effective government, there was no coast guard to protect against fishing trawlers of foreign ships. And moreover, big companies start to dump nuclear and toxic waste along the Somalia coast. This led to the erosion of the fish stock and tremendous environmental problems that people in Somalia have to suffer. Therefore, fishermen in Somalia started to band together to protect their resources, themselves and their family. Those victimized fishermen were to become the first pirates who now not only protect their resources, but start to attack ships for goods and ransoms. And because ransom are usually paid after seeing the profitability of piracy, warlords began to facilitate pirate activities and splitting the profit with the pirates. This explains why piracy in Somalia has grown significantly within a few years, from groups of poor fishermen to organized crime. As a conclusion, I would say to say that it is the lack of a central government, its strategic location, and the most important thing, also social problems, which were the right conditions for the growth of piracy in the early 1990s. And actually now it's going to present us with the current situation, how piracy in Somalia has grown significantly lately and become an international emergency. Thank you.
So, piracy has been a threat to the Somali coast since the Somali Civil War, which started 19 years ago. However, since 2005, piracy has reached alarming rates. With access to advanced weapons and technology, their attacks have escalated from small-scale attacks on fishing vessels to highly coordinated attacks on international cargo and oil ship tankers. Ransoms have also dramatically increased. According to the International Maritime Bureau, piracy reached a 6-year high in 2009. As you can see from this graph, over the past 2 years, the monthly successful hijackings off the coast of Somalia have dramatically increased. So now I would like to talk about how the Somali people perceive piracy, what effects it has on them as people, as well as what effect piracy has on the international community. For some Somali people, piracy may be a response to their exploited situation. As Khoi mentioned, they are victims of illegal fishing by other countries and other fishing companies. Secondly, in response to the dumping of nuclear and toxic waste, which has reported high incidences of abdominal bleeding, skin infections, respiratory infections, all of these symptoms similar to radiation sickness. It may be less sympathetic to the Europeans who they're receiving ransoms from. And also, piracy helps to create online spending. It helps to fund for small businesses, provide electricity, other luxuries otherwise never experienced by Somali people. Also, I would like to talk about some of the recent attacks that have taken place in the last 2 years, as well as some attacks that have taken place this year. In 2008, pirates hijacked the MK Fena, which is a Ukrainian cargo ship. They released that for $3.2 million. Later on that year, the Somali pirates hijacked the Sirius Star, which is a Saudi oil tanker, which was carrying $100 million worth of crude oil, and they later released that for $3 million. In 2009, Somali pirates even hijacked a ship that was carrying 5,000 metric tons of relief supplies headed towards Somalia, Uganda, and Kenya. And in the fall of